Goodwill brings to you the weekly share market update dated the 24th of February 2023. Talking about the corporate segment, we have shares of Mangalore Refinery and Petrochemicals Limited, MRPL, rallied 18% on February 19th, extending monthly gains to nearly 60% in February and a total of 33% in January. Year to date, it has surged 113% with increased volumes. The stock surged despite downgrades from several analysts after its Q3 earnings performance. Motilal Oswal Securities has downgraded the stock to sell and cut its target price of 135 rupees a share, down 23% from earlier. Yes Securities lowered rating to neutral from earlier and revised target price of 173 rupees a share from 151 rupees a share. Elara Capital has downgraded the stock to sell and cut its target price to 150 rupees from 175 rupees a share. CRISIL shares surged over 8% in the morning trade on February 19th, after the rating agency reported a 33% on-year increase in consolidated net profit in the December quarter. The net profit came in at 210.1 rupees crore, driven by healthy operating numbers. Revenue jumped 11.6% year-on-year to 917.7 rupees crore. The Board of Directors recommended a final dividend of 28 rupees for the financial year ended 2023 for equity shares, with a face value of 1 rupee each. The dividend payout is subject to the approval of the shareholders at the ensuing annual general meeting. This brings the total dividend for 2023 to 54 rupees against 48 rupees in the previous year. Shares of Zee Entertainment Enterprises gained over 9% on the NSE on February 20th on reports that Zee and Sony Pictures Networks, India, were working on another attempt to revive the mega merger deal. On February 20th, the Economic Times reported that Zee Entertainment Enterprises Limited were aiming to revive their $10 billion merger that was called off on January 22nd. According to the report, meetings have taken place over the last fortnight to salvage the deal. Money Control couldn't independently verify the details of the report. The report further added that Zee is expected to inform Sony in the next 24 to 48 hours if it's willing to accept the terms and conditions. Shares of Federal Bank fell over 6% to hit an intraday low of 149.15 rupees on the NSE in early deals on February 20th. The slump in trade follows larger private sector lender Kotak Mahindra Bank has redesignating KVS Manian as the joint managing director. Manian was reportedly being considered by Federal Bank to succeed Shyam Srinivasan as the managing director and chief executive officer. On February 15th, CNBC TV18 had reported, citing unidentified sources, that Federal Bank has shortlisted 2 internal candidates, along with Kotak Mahindra Bank's Manian for the corner office. Payton shares continued to recover on February 21st, hitting a 5% upper circuit for the third straight session. At 1 p.m., the stock was trading at 395.05 rupees on the National Stock Exchange. Payton stock took a hit after January 31st when RBI imposed strict restrictions on Payton Payments Bank Limited. While it has recovered around 24% from the 52-week low of 318 rupees hit on February 16th, the fintech firm's stock is still trading 48% below the January 31st closing price of 761.20 rupees. The surge in Payton share price over the last 3 sessions can be attributed to several factors, including the RBI extending the deadline to March 15th, positive comments from management, and recent developments such as the Enforcement Directorate, ED, finding no violation under the Foreign Exchange Management Act, FEMA, a deal with Axis Bank, and an outperform rating by Bernstein. Shares of DLF rallied over 3% to hit a fresh 52-week high of 891.6 rupees per share on February 21st after its wholly owned subsidiary DLF Home Developers entered into private treaty with Axis Trustee Services, an IREO private, to acquire land parcel in Gurugram for 1,241 rupees crore. The stock of this realty major has surged over 22% so far this year, as against 1% rise in the benchmark Sensex. DLF's arm will acquire land in Gurugram, Haryana under the provisions of Sarfeesi Act, and the total development potential of this land will be based on all eligible floor area ratio, which would be 7.5 million square feet. Shares of ABB India surged nearly 8% in morning deals on February 22 to a fresh all-time high of 5,373.80 rupees on the NSE. The stock has been rising ever since the large-cap technology firm announced its financial results earlier this week. The sharp rally can be attributed to the buy ratings and raised target prices from several brokerages. Nomura has double upgraded ABB India to a buy from a neutral, given the company's order outlook, and raised the target to 5,740 rupees from 3,575 rupees earlier, on account of rising convergence between automation, electrification, and premiumization. Shares of PepsiCo bottler Varun Beverages Limited hit their record high amid correction in the broader market today. Varun Beverages shares gained 1.25%. to a high of 1,482 rupees against the previous close of 1,463.70 rupees on BSE. The stock touched its all-time high a day after the company announced signing of an exclusive deal with PepsiCo to manufacture and pack Cheetos in Morocco. The company's subsidiary Varun Beverages Morocco SA inked an exclusive snacks appointment agreement with Premier Nutrition Trading LLC Dubai, subsidiary of PepsiCo Inc., for the manufacturing and packaging of Cheetos in Morocco. Shares of Sona BLW Precision Forgings, also known as Sona Comstar, gained 5% to 643 rupees in the morning trade on February 23, after the company became the first automotive component manufacturer to receive certification under the Auto Production Linked Incentive Scheme. The company has filed 7 applications for different products under the PLI scheme, and it has received the certification for its first product, a hub-wheel drive motor for electric two-wheelers. Shares of Vodafone Idea Limited zoomed 7% on February 23, extending gains for the second day after a 6% jump in the previous session. The rally follows an announcement from the telecom operator that its board of directors will meet on February 27 to consider all proposals for raising funds in one or more tranches by way of a rights issue or further public offer or private placement of shares, including preferential allotment, qualified institution placement, or through any other permissible mode. BF Utilities Limited has moved up by 30.56% this week. With a change of 214.20 points, it has traded with a net volume of 11.74 million shares. The share is currently trading at the price level of 915.15 against the previous closing price of 700.95. Meanwhile, the share price is trading above its moving average 703.14, which is a good indication for the stock. The stock has made the highest move to 948.80 points this week, while shares are trading with a relative strength index of around 78.37. Solara Active Pharma Sciences Limited has moved up by 21.32% this week. With a change of 85.85 points, it has traded with a net volume of 6.258 million shares. The share is currently trading at the price level of 488.5 against the previous closing price of 402.65. Meanwhile, the share price is trading above its moving average 408.39, which is a good indication for the stock. The stock has made the highest move to 506.50 points this week, while shares are trading with a relative strength index of around 70.97. Tata Investment Corporation Limited has moved up by 21.09% this week, with a change of 1,185.35 points. It has traded with a net volume of 2.089 million shares. The share is currently trading at the price level of 6,807.1 against the previous closing price of 5,621.75. Meanwhile, the share price is trading above its moving average 5,282.54, which is a good indication for the stock. The stock has made the highest move to 7,111.15 points this week, while shares are trading with a relative strength index of around 88.84. eMudra Limited has moved up by 21.06% this week with a change of 102.05 points. It has traded with a net volume of 7.272 million shares. The share is currently trading at the price level of 586.55. against the previous closing price of 484.5. Meanwhile, the share price is trading above its moving average 489.87, which is a good indication for the stock. The stock has made the highest move to 591.35 points this week, while shares are trading with a relative strength index of around 75.38. Nifty is currently in positive trend. If you are holding long positions, then continue to hold with daily closing stop loss of 22,009. Fresh short positions can be initiated if Nifty closes below 22,009 levels. Nifty support levels are 22,167, 22,121 and 22,055. Nifty resistance levels are 22,278, 22,344 and 22,390. Bank Nifty is currently in positive trend. If you are holding long positions, then continue to hold with daily closing stop loss of 46,388. Fresh short positions can be initiated if Bank Nifty closes below 46,388 levels. Bank Nifty support levels are 46,608, 46,405 and 46,086. Bank Nifty resistance levels are 47,130, 47,449 and 47,653.
You can reach us via phone, WhatsApp, or email using the information listed on the screen. Thank you for joining us today. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more financial insights. And, as always, if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover in future videos, leave them in the comments section below. Until next time, happy investing.